want to congratulate Arsenal, Mikel Arteta, his players, staff for huge achievement, winning the title after 22 years. That's right. Yeah. So it's fantastic job they have done, and also special congrats to verge. So I think he's taken the right decision to go to Arsenal and not to another club. Yes, it's for us. It makes it a bit easier that the league is already decided. Just regarding the questions, so our preparation is the same, because I mentioned it. We have to think, and we just think what's best for us to be in the best possible shape on Wednesday.
Oh, what a game to come on Sunday, of course, and Oliver Glasner's last one. But Arsenal Premier League champions, they go there having done the job already. Would have been a little bit nervy on Sunday, I'm sure, if they hadn't, but then Manchester City dropping points. The scenes outside the Emirates on Tuesday night, I think whether or not you support them, whether or not you were happy for them, whether or not you were hate watching, those scenes, if you're a football fan, everybody enjoyed seeing that.
You know, I think they were the embodiment of what the Premier League is all about. It's a global game, and this show, the product is broadcast to 211 territories around the world, and what we saw was a really wonderful global celebration of a big team finally ending a 22-year wait for the title. Some of the stuff on social media was just exceptional, inspirational, fun, and the guy who has been at the centre of that, Mikel Arteta, I'm really pleased for him. I'm a little bit sympathetic, sad for him in a way, because his thunder's been stolen by, you know, things that have happened since then. But this guy, you know, he has steadily progressed the club since he took over. First season he won the FA Cup, of course, and then everyone has said it was Unai Emery's team, and then he's been a bridesmaid 3 years in a row before getting over the line. One quick thing with him, and Danny, you speak to this better than me, but he's built from the back. He's realised when they lost the title late in the season, they had those defensive frailties, so he's built from the back. He's not really cared about what people think about the style of play, because if you get the job done, nobody will care how you play as long as you do it.
Yeah, Danny, we'll hear from you in a second. Why don't we just hear the thoughts of Mikel Arteta? Here he is.
Can you just give us an idea of what it was like for you on Tuesday night when that whistle went at the Vitality, your overriding emotion when it happened?
You don't realize it, probably. It's one of the best feelings I ever had. I'm supposed to be here at Colney watching the game with the boys and certain staff, because that's what they wanted, but I couldn't. I think 20 minutes later, before the game, I had to leave. I couldn't bring the energy that I wanted, and I think when it was their moment as well to watch it together, to be themselves, and just see what the outcome would be. And I went home, I went outside to the garden, I started to build some fire, and I started to do some barbecue. I didn't watch any of it. I was just hearing some noises in the background in the living room, and suddenly the magic happened. My oldest son opened the garden door. He started to run towards me. He started to cry. He gave me a hug and said, "We are champions, Daddy." And then my other two boys and my wife came over, and it was beautiful. Just to see that joy on them as well, that they are always with me. It was magical. And I think a minute later, Martin was with the video. "Where are you?" I said, "Come over." He said, yeah, guys, enjoy for a while, and see you in a few hours somewhere in London. And it was beautiful.
Yeah, the first man to manage a club to the Premier League title, a club that he played for, Mikel Arteta. And, you know, you mentioned it, just wondering whether they would get it over the line, because they'd finished second 3 seasons in a row. What do you think was the difference this time around?
I think he altered them. They've been actually pretty good to watch for a couple of years and scored a lot of goals. And this year they've become a bit more pragmatic. Yeah. Worked harder on set plays, which is absolutely credit to them, because it's not easy. And basically what they've done is they've won the league by being the best defensive team in Europe. But not only the best defensive team in Europe from the Premier League stats, but from the Champions League stats. And people think, well, everybody wants to watch attacking football and goals, of course, but it's a dying art, defending. And it's not easy. It takes concentration, it takes tactical nous, it takes motivation from the coach to consistently get players to run and to do the hard yards. And the best example this season was when Eze played left wing at Villa. 2 bad moments of defensive work where he let his man go, Matty Cash. They lost a goal, nearly lost a second. He didn't play him again for five, 6 games.
Yeah.
And what he was saying there is, if you don't do it in my team, you're not going to play. And they don't carry any passages. And that's why I give them a great chance against PSG as well. And I think Arteta deserves great credit for going away from his Barcelona, Spanish, beautiful football roots to get his team over the line, because he knew the other way hadn't worked for him. And it was a big risk, because if they'd have failed, he'd have got hammered.
Yeah.
But what he's done is he's gone, I believe in what we're doing, and he stuck to it to the last minute.
Yes, George Graham did all the way to the end line.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned Eze. What a story for him, because, you know, he was on the, we all know it now, he was on the verge of joining Spurs.
What a bullet that is.
Well, they might not be in this position if he had.
Absolutely.
Went to Arsenal and will now be crowned at Selhurst Park, you know, where he made his name on Sunday. Yeah,
it's wonderful. Inspirational story as well. His faith, as everybody knows, is very, very strong to him. He's very unapologetic about that. And he's grafted. I love players like Eze who don't always have that smooth ride to the top. You know,
Semenyo.
Yeah, exactly. Semenyo's another one. They have the setbacks, but they use those setbacks as inspiration, fuel to keep going and graft and work hard. And as you just said, there was that moment where he had made a mistake and he wasn't in the side for 6 games, but his attitude has been so hardened by the setbacks of the past that when he is called upon, he's ready at the elite level. That's why he is such a wonderful story.
Yeah. The other story that interests me is the one about the mentality and the intensity of Mikel Arteta. Everyone talks about it. And you and I think, have read the same article that says Eze had a word with him, which I think speaks to bravery, because he's new in that team and kind of went to Mikel and said, you know, he needs to give them a little bit of space to do the job. And now they've been able to get it over the line. Yeah,
no, and there's a little bit of colour with that as well, because, you know, that had been a concern among 1 or 2 of the players, that maybe having brought him to the club, Mikel was trying to coach the creativity out of him. And a big part of how they've managed to get over the line is that, yes, they've been defensively strong. They've got the best defence in the Premier League. Yes, they've been exceptional at set pieces. No other team in the Premier League has had as many free kicks and corner goals this season. But they have needed that invention in the final third to enable Gyökeres to have such a good season. Many people were giving him a bit of stick midway through the season, but Gyökeres has managed to find those goals, and a big part of that reason has been Eze coming back into the team, as Danny was saying.
And then, Danny, just the mentality as well, which everyone has criticised him for and had wondered whether they would have enough, and certainly under Arteta have enough to go on and win the trophy. What did it take for them after losing at City, which has totally swung the momentum? Many people didn't see this happening after that City game.
I don't think they were as nervous or as edgy this time after that defeat. Yes, there was probably a little bit of, oh, we're going to mess it up again. But the lads who are in the team who've faced the second place for the last 2 or 3 seasons, they've got that experience now. And it showed, even seeing out games 1-0 in the last few weeks. And also the mentality of the manager, I think, this season has changed. He's still intense and he's still passionate, but in his interviews, every time you watch him, or even through the bad spells, he was calmer. Yeah. And I think that spreads to the players. And I thought they managed the end-of-season games really well. Yeah,
I think so too. I think that as well as the team and the players learning and suffering together to get to where they are now, he has learned. He's learned to deal with the media, for example. He's learned,
much better,
you know, to be a lot more measured with the questions that he gets asked at London Colney on a Friday, sometimes in the flash interviews, where sometimes in the past he might be a bit too emotional, but he's learned to kind of temper that. And when you win a league, it isn't just about what you do on the pitch. This is, as I keep saying, the biggest league in the world, so much attention on it from around the world. You have to manage so many more expectations than the ones in the stadium, and that's what he's managed to do so well.
We've got to go to break, but I have to ask you about Oliver Glasner. Obviously, last Premier League match as Crystal Palace manager, with one eye on a European final as well. Just thoughts on the job he's done there?
He has been exceptional, and when you consider that he made it very clear that he wouldn't be signing a new contract, the side could have fallen apart, the attitudes could have frayed, they could have lost their way, but instead the focus has been total from the players, and that's a measure of the respect that the players have for him. the next club that gets him is going to be very, very lucky indeed.
Okay, well, we're going to focus on the relegation battle because it goes down to the